Nos encontramos en la Fonoteca Nacional de México en el día 3 del sexto Seminario Internacional de Archivos Sonoros y Audiovisuales. Nos acompaña el doctor Guillermo Kelley, director general del Instituto Latinoamericano de la Comunicación Educativa. Doctor, ¿nos podría precisar el punto nodal de la ponencia que acabamos de escuchar?
Muchas gracias primero que todo por haberme invitado a este seminario internacional que creo que es muy importante. Los archivos sonoros y audiovisuales tienen un papel muy importante en la educación. La digitalización de esos archivos es fundamental. Yo lo que pienso es que el papel que desempeñan los archivos cada vez va a ser más importante en la educación, porque nos va a permitir crear cápsulas que son muy importantes para poder utilizarlas de una manera flexible y modular en diferentes ambientes educativos y para diferentes propósitos también educativos. De tal manera que este es un esfuerzo muy importante que se está haciendo en el ILCE, en el Instituto Latinoamericano de la Comunicación Educativa, y que es fundamental para la educación de los países de América Latina en los próximos años. El día de hoy el aprendizaje a través del Internet y de los diferentes dispositivos que hay para aprender permite una gran flexibilidad y una gran distribución del conocimiento y del aprendizaje.
Gracias, muy amable.
Muy amable.
Presente en el sexto Seminario Internacional de Archivos Sonoros y Audiovisuales. Está con nosotros Ricardo Villa.
Buenas tardes a todos. Les recordamos que contamos
Radio y Televisión Española. ¿Nos podría comentar, por favor, el punto nodal de la conferencia que acabamos de escuchar?
Sí, hemos planteado unos proyectos desde hace 6 años en Radio Televisión Española para dar a conocer el fondo histórico, el fondo del archivo de Radio Televisión Española, que está compuesto por más de 800.000 horas, de las cuales hay 400.000 ya digitalizadas. Lo que hacemos es un trabajo en el que es muy importante para nosotros las redes sociales, la búsqueda de la opinión de la gente y utilizar la memoria colectiva que es la televisión española, que en su momento fue la única televisión que había en España, para que ellos a su vez cuenten su historia. Ponemos pequeños videos en los cuales la gente vota cuáles son las series que tienen que digitalizarse, de una forma activa la digitalización del archivo, pero además cuentan su vida. Una vez que hay una pequeña imagen evocadora, la gente empieza y hay 5.000 comentarios de personas contando qué es lo que pasaba en aquel entonces, y es una forma también de que la tomen como propia y también de contar la historia de España de una forma diferente.
Nos encontramos con Peter Bubestinger de la Mediateca de Austria, y Peter Bubestinger nos va a comentar cuáles fueron los principales aspectos de su presentación en el sexto Seminario Internacional de Archivos Sonoros y Audiovisuales. What were the main aspects of your presentation that you already done for the seminar?
The presentation I gave today was about video digitalization on a professional level with little resources and on a complete open basis using free software, also known as open source, and how this is important for the access to knowledge, like that when you have standard formats but they're implemented in a closed way. In our institution we have seen that we have a professional video digitalization and we can share it with everyone now and we can collaborate. So this was the main point. It was the challenge of lossless video digitalization combined with open systems that enables institutions to not only do stuff but also share it with others.
Which is the advantage of using free software for the democratization process of digital preservation?
Well, the thing is that a lot of people mistake like freeware, which is just gratis, with free software, which allows you to use, study, share, and improve things, which is very important for democratization, especially because our world is completely getting digital. We're depending on these systems. When they're black boxes, we lose the control of our environment. We cannot share knowledge. We cannot access knowledge. And if we pay for open systems, we don't want it gratis. We pay for open systems, then we have access and control over our environment. We can share it, we can collaborate. So this is a major thing about going digital, that we are not limited to the physical restrictions like the table is here, you cannot share it. With files and software, we can collaborate and share.
Nos encontramos con Chris Lacinak de Audiovisual Preservation from Nueva York. And la pregunta que le haremos es al respecto de la presentación que acaba de hacer en el sexto Seminario de Archivos Sonoros. Chris, could you tell us more about this? Which are the advantage of calculating the inaction that you have been talking before?
Yeah, so the main concept is that often when organizations go to assess projects for digitization of legacy audiovisual physical materials, things like Betacam SP videotape or things like audio cassettes or audio open reel, they often hit a stopping point when administrators or executives look at what the costs are and struggle to find a return on investment or an ROI. But typically these are not the right metrics to use. The reality is that we have 15 years or less to digitize physical audiovisual materials before they are inaccessible and lost to obsolescence and degradation. And the other reality is that organizations have invested in these collections for many years, staff, facilities, moves of materials, rehousing, consulting, lots of expenses. And if they don't digitize those materials and they're lost, they will also lose that investment. So the cost of inaction is a way to quantify the financial implications as well as the intellectual implications, because we also say, how many items will you lose? And so in the past, we've only had arguments that are more emotional or intellectual around this. And nobody disagrees about these. You will not find an administrator or an executive that doesn't agree that the cultural significance and the importance of the collections and the holdings, but they have a bottom line number that they have to deal with. So this is in order to close the communication gap, focused on quantifying financial and intellectual implications of various decisions, so that you can make well-informed decisions.
So in this way, what do you think must be the priorities of institutions or archives to take this important decision to expend money into the preservation of their archives?
Yeah, well, priority is exactly the right word. Prioritization is the number one thing, because it would be unreasonable to say that we should preserve everything forever. That's just not reality. And so we do have to prioritize. We have to think about what are the technical factors that are going to make, there are certain materials that will become obsolete and degrade faster than others. So we might look at technical criteria for prioritization. And not all materials are of value. Not all materials are valuable to the mission of the organization that has them, or some might be duplicate content and things like this. So we want to look at what the research, intellectual, sometimes monetary values of things are, depending on the type of organization you are, as well as the technical risk factors, so that you can start acting immediately. That's the most important thing, and with priorities in place.
Finally, can you recommend us, you recommend on your presentation about a web page or a program in which we can make the calcul of this possible cost for administrating the preservation? How we can find this information for everybody that has been interested in that?
Yeah, we developed a free tool for calculating the cost of inaction. It's at COI www.avpreserve.com. And there you will find a calculator with information on how to use it and other helpful information, as well as a video explaining the rationale behind it. And avpreserve.com has additional open source free tools and free resources as well that are focused on audiovisual preservation.
Thank you very much, Chris.
Thank you.